It's great, to be recognized for, those historic and national trophies. I think it's something to be proud of, something to, something to chase after. But, at the end of the day, we're out here every day getting better as a team. So it's not just a individual thing for myself. It's without my guys around me, I wouldn't be within that name, within that, list of guys. So, I give all the credit to those guys. It's incredible to be in the position that I am because of those guys. And I just couldn't be more thankful for those guys around me.
What have you seen from Maverick here in these last 2 weeks?
A ton of growth, and it's not always, success isn't linear, and neither is growth. There's going to be failings, there's going to be, stumps in the road that you're going to trip, but you're going to get back up, and I think that's exactly what he's done. He's continued to get better each and every week, each day, and it's just the things that he didn't do well maybe yesterday or the day before, he's going to fix that and do it better today. And it's just those little things that, I think really set you up for success in the future that maybe some guys, struggle with not being able to get over that one or two things that, hey, I'm struggling with this, but I just really can't get over that hump. I think he's done a tremendous job, looking for advice, looking for help, whether it's, coaches, staff, other players, and, I'm just really excited and super proud of that kid. And he's not even a kid at this point. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mav. But I'm super excited for that guy.
How much, after going through the injury last year, how much more motivated are you just to kind of take that forward this year?
Yeah, super. It's no one knows when that sort of thing's going to happen, right? So you prepare all that time, and then, it's kind of rugs taken under your feet. So, but it's just being prepared each and every day to be able to, and then I think I am more prepared for if that something were to happen again. I was in a position to where I was able to learn many things in that sort of spot that I was in to where, hey, if this happens again, or maybe it happens to, God forbid, one of my teammates or something along those lines, I can be there now to help somebody through that or help myself get through that sort of thing. And, looking motivational-wise, it's just another day that I'm an opportunity to have. So I'm just super blessed to be able to be in the position I am with the opportunities that I have each and every day.
How would you describe kind of what you've learned from Coach Heatherman about kind of understanding of the game, X's and O's standpoint? I know you in particular thought very highly of Joe Rossi in that respect. How have you seen Coach Heatherman in that regard?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot. And, all different coaches have different philosophies, different schemes, different ways of looking about things. And like you said, I learned a lot from Coach Rossi in my 4 years that I had him, that I was underneath him. And, with Coach Heatherman, there's just, a plethora of other things that I've been able to learn too. It's whether it's, hey, with this formation, with this situation, this is what you can expect, and this is what we're going to do about it, right? It's not as much so, hey, this is what we're going to do, it's how are they going to attack us, so we better understand the holistic approach, so we can better, understand ourselves as we understand the opponent. So, again, been super blessed with Coach Heatherman to be in our room, be in our corner. So just continue to, keep going, keep rolling, and with Coach Heatherman, I think this linebacker room, this defensive, unit will continue to rise each and every day.
He comes in with a reputation of being aggressive as a defensive coordinator. How have you seen that for him?
Yeah, it's been great. With that aggression, we talk about ESV all the time. Being excited every single play, swarming to the ball, all 11 guys getting their hats there, and when you get there, you got to be violent. We play football; it's obviously a violent sport. Have bad intentions when you get to that ball carrier. So I think in those 3 words, that's how I would describe him. Clear it fast, it's excitement. Being excited every single play. It doesn't have to be, hey, a bad play. It's not that, hey, I'm going to get up and jumping up and down, but I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm going to show up every play, and I'm going to swarm to the ball. I don't care if I get knocked down. I'm going to get up and run to the ball, and I'm going to be violent when I get there. So I think those 3 words really describe how, Coach Heatherman has instilled himself within this defense.
What has you optimistic that the run defense is going to be improved from last fall?
I think it's up front 7. Those guys up front are going to protect those linebackers, be able to scrape, play off the ball, and those guys are going to be able to clean it up. And then, those guys behind are going to cover all day. That's going to help us. They can't throw the ball, you have to run the ball. They can't run it, they're going to throw it. And at the end of the day, we're going to protect up front, and we're going to get back after them in the back. I think vocally. I think I've always been a person that does the right things, but at that point, it's not good enough at that point anymore, right? You can show everybody what to do, but you got to bring people along with you. Talk about being a commander. Like, yes, I'm going to go and do all the right things. That's great. Like, we love those guys that do all the right things, but hey, who can I bring along with me to do those right things too? It's not just about myself at that point. It's, hey, grabbing a younger guy or somebody that may not have it down pat right now. Say, hey, come with me. I'm going to show you the ropes. I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to do this thing better together. So, I think within myself, it's bringing those people along with me, and I think that's where I've really grown these past few years.
What have you seen of Coy, either at special teams or at safety?
Yeah, it's been great. He's a very energetic guy. He just loves to be out here and play. He's got that instinct within him where, whether it's on defense, he's going to get to the ball, he's going to find the ball, he's going to get there. And whether it's on special teams, he gets the ball in his hands or whatever it might be, he's blocking, running. Again, whatever it is, he's going to make a play somehow, some way. And it's been great to see him grow too. It's been just a short while since he's been here, but he's gotten a ton better.
You see a potential leader there?
Oh, absolutely, yes, sir. These young guys don't always have that voice in them, but I think the way that he leads right now, the way he does the right things, I think absolutely it'll continue to grow, and I can see that in him. Absolutely.
Cody, entering camp, what were some of the collective goals you guys had as a linebacker?
Continue to get better each and every day. Take it one step at a time, stay within the moment. Exactly what we talked about after practice today. Don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Don't get too far in the past. That's when those things kind of can slip onto yourselves. When I'm looking too far into the future, whether it's, I'm worried about this, I got to keep looking at this, but, you really just got to stay in the moment. What do I have in front of me right now to help me, set up my future success? Whatever that might be, whatever it might look like. It doesn't have to be on the football field. It can be in the classroom. If I'm looking, a week down the road and I forget I have an assignment due tomorrow night, I'm not going to be very successful in that moment, right? So it's just staying within the moment, making sure all the guys around you, as well as yourself, are doing the right things at the right time. So I think taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, and just doing those right things that are in front of you.
On that same note, one play at a time kind of mentality. When you have a running back like Lamar in Hampton first week of the season that can hit a home run at any time, how do you help lead that defense into that game where it's like, okay, every single play we have to know our read, know our keys?
Yeah, absolutely. We're playing a high-powered offense. Teams are going to make plays. Big Ten, these guys are good, so are we. But, when they make a play, it's not put my head down and sulk about it. It's get back up and don't let it happen again. It's that response mechanisms that we have within ourselves that, the circumstances, whatever it might be, say they do rip off a big run, that's not going to dictate how I play that next play. I'm going to get up, I'm going to know my job, and I'm going to get to the right spot when the ball is snapped. So it's just, again, taking that one-play mentality and taking it and putting it in within situations, within a football game, and not making a situation bigger than it is. Thank you, everybody.
You just talked about the defense this year is versatility, especially on the D-line. Can you feel that in your final year?
I do a lot. A lot of these guys that I've, one, come in with, and two, been able to see come in and grow. We're starting to get the ability to just let guys go out there and fly around. And it's been fun to see, guys in different positions, guys being able to just go out there and rush, go out there, getting knocked back in the run game. Just being able to do different things with the personnel we have. And I think this is one of the most experienced defensive lines that we've had since I've been here. And, I've been a part of some great defensive lines here. And so just to be able to see, how this individual group has come together has been really fun.
What is the challenge of trying to play faster, at least at times?
You got to be able to get to a point where you're not thinking while you're playing. And so what that means is, you got to be able to know what you're doing and not, the picture changes on you out there, and it can't take you, seconds to process it. It's got to be, something happens, what the next step is. And so being able to know, one, the playbook, two, the defense, and three, what the offense is doing just allows you to go out there and play so much faster, especially when the picture changes, because, offenses these days are going to change the picture on you as much as they can. So being able to know what that next step is, what happens if, this guy goes over here, or, they give you a different look after the snap, being able to adjust just based upon your practice and your training.
How much of a paradigm shift is that for you?
I think we've done a good job being able to adjust for that. So it really hasn't changed a whole lot.
Danny, what's the biggest benefit of having a healthy Cody in the middle of the defense?
I love playing with Cody, and we've been able to be here and be together for going on 5 years now. He came a little earlier with an early enroll, but being able to play with Cody's always been great. He's one of the smartest linebackers that I've ever seen, and then to back that up with his speed and athleticism, it's really awesome to be able to know that that's behind you. One, because it kind of eases your mind a little bit. Two, it just allows you to go out there and play, knowing that you got a guy like Cody back there being able to cover for you.
Coach Heatherman comes in with a reputation as being very aggressive when he's been in DC at previous spots. How have you seen that play
I love just being able to sit down and talk with Coach Heatherman. Seeing his, every coach, I've been through a handful of coaches here, and every coach you get just kind of has a different viewpoint of the game, and they see the game a different way, and so being able to see how he views the game and why he's making a certain call in this situation, it really just broadens your football knowledge as a whole. And so being able to see, we're going to be aggressive here and not here with his reasonings. It's you get to see where coaches differ, and where the reasoning is a little bit different because he's had experiences doing this in another place, and someone else has had an experience doing this in another place, and just having that the culmination of experiences to be able to broaden all of our knowledge just as players.
Do you think generally on the whole there will be an uptick in aggressiveness, or is that difficult?
I think it's not necessarily as much his play calling style, but just what he values as a defense. Being excited, having swarm. An excited defense is essentially a dangerous defense. You got guys that, what we do isn't always that glorious, especially on the D line. You're in the trenches with those big offensive linemen, but if you can be excited doing that every single play, that's a pretty dangerous team. You got a guy that just gets his head knocked and comes back there with a smile. That's not always what you want to see as an offensive lineman. So, I think it's mostly just a value and a mentality thing for that aggressiveness.
How would you characterize what you've seen from Jackson Howard and Lucas Fennessy in fall camp?
I've had a lot of fun practicing with those two. I'll start with Jackson. Jackson's really eager to learn every single day. I love being able to sit down and when we're watching film, kind of hear his viewpoint, hear how he thinks. And having spent a year somewhere else, he's picked up different cues and clues on other things. But he's very detailed in the way he works and the way he learns, and it's really easy to, have, go over there. Maybe he doesn't do something right, be able to go over there, say, hey, this is how I do it, or this is how, we talked about it in the meeting, and he corrects it right there. It's a non-issue. And with Lucas, it's him moving. We're actually roommates, so we're pretty close. Him, making the move from linebacker and going through injury and all that, and to see him come out and play how he's playing right now. It really makes me smile, for one, because one of my best friends, but just to see what he's gone through as a football player and as a person, and come out here and play the way he's playing is really cool.
Are you chalking up that interception to a pick six?
I saw a couple of the running backs that were standing in the back kind of leak out, so they weren't in the game. It's either a flag or a touchdown, one of the two. Yeah.
Danny, you mentioned film study, pass rush plan with some of the younger guys. Just how much has your process evolved over the years as you've started to get more reps and experience?
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. Coming in, you don't really know, this from that. Everything's kind of a blur. You're just trying to get everything down and just learn the playbook. But as I grew and, being around, right when I got here, being around guys like Big O and Boye and Thomas and, all those guys that are now, doing great things off in the league, and being able to see what they've done and kind of keep that in the back of my mind just while I learned the scheme and the playbook and the system and the culture. And so now that's something that I can go back on, and I pick something new up, I feel like, every year from, a different guy that goes off into the NFL, or, even if they don't go to the NFL, pick up a different thing that, allowed them to succeed. And so as I've gotten older, I've picked up, different habits, different things to look for from different coaches, different players, and it's really helped me grow. So now I can really draw back on, hey, well, Boye or Thomas used to do this and it really helped them. Maybe I'll try that out and pick up a few different cues or clues based upon what they saw.
What's your impression of Coy
last
so
one for
far?
Danny.
Coy, either at safety or in special teams?
Yeah, Coy's a fun guy to be around. I didn't really hear him talk for the first couple weeks that he was here. He was a little quiet, but now he's starting to open it up. He's starting to get a hang and get in with a lot of the guys, and so it's really cool to see him come in and be explosive right away, and kind of see him work into his role and really take control of the positions that he's in and the reps that he's getting, being able to go out there and really take advantage of what he's getting for reps.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, guys.
Fun, exciting. He's a guy that brings the energy to the whole defense every day. That's one thing he really emphasizes, is having energy and don't let camp become monotonous or boring. So just him emphasizing energy every day, it really brings light to the defense.
What does that next level look like for you in your final season here?
Just being more of a team player. You know, we talk about being commanders and bringing guys with you. So for me, it's just to bring all the younger guys or all the transfers who just got here, just bring them up to the standard and just being a leader on the field.
Justin, what are some of the things you've been emphasizing as you entered camp?
For me, it's just being a leader and communicating. You know, I feel like without Tyler Newbin, you got guys like Cody, obviously, but I have a huge voice, and I have to use it more, and just to make sure all the back end is connected, and just being there with Cody and just making my voice be heard more.
How do you have to play differently in the secondary if the whole defense is trying to play faster, at least at times?
Say it again?
How do you have to adjust in the secondary, and maybe personally, if the whole defense is playing faster at times?
If the whole defense is playing fast, it makes my job a lot easier. I know those guys up front are doing really good, and the better they play and the faster they play, the easier it makes my job on the back end.
So you've seen a good transition that way in camp?
Yeah, I think Coach Debo really has the guys going, and on the back end we can really tell because a lot of times we ain't got to cover for that long.
Justin, how would you characterize? I know there's a lot of people moving around at the safety spots. Darius just came back. How would you kind of characterize where those positions are, and how there might be some rotation as the season goes on?
I think we have a very good problem at safety. Well, we have a lot of guys that can play, and I know throughout camp you have different days where a different guy is just stepping up and making more plays than other ones, and I think everybody's having their turn every day. So I'm really excited to see how that goes back there.
What have you seen? I know we talked about Ethan in spring ball, but now that it's fall camp, how have you seen him as a guy opposite to you?
Ethan is a guy that he's really elevated his leadership over the past couple months. You know, when he first got here, being new to a program, you kind of want to just do things right, but he's to the point now where he knows he can do everything right, so he's bringing guys up with him, and he's becoming a big leader on defense.
How about the guys behind you, Ryland, Zaquan, those guys?
Those guys they come every day ready to work. So whenever you got a group of guys like we have now that are willing to work and be excited to work every day, it just makes the whole defense better.
What do you see in Lindsey as a young quarterback, facing him on the other side?
He's going to be a great player. And then having Max in front of him, just to teach him the ropes and how to be a leader, because he has a talent to be an amazing player. But sitting behind Max, I think he's going to learn a lot more on the mental side of it, and just know he's going to be really good.
Does his arm impress you at all? Lengths, all distances?
Yeah, we saw it in spring. He can throw it. He can reach every part of the field. So when he's out there, you got to keep your head on the swivel at DB.
What does it mean having UNC as the first game for you guys? Obviously, you started with Nebraska. Last year, what's it like with UNC coming here this year?
It's a great opponent and an opponent we respect very well. No played him last year, and just excited to play him again.
Any more for Justin?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Impressions of camp thus far?
Oh, it's been great. It's my last one, so I'm trying to soak it all in. But offensive line's clicking on all cylinders right now, and it's been a great, past 2.5 weeks, and we've just been getting better every day.
You enjoyed fully committing to the guard position?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it suits me well. I enjoyed playing tackle, and I think I can play tackle if need be. But I think what's best for the team, what's best for me right now is to get some reps at guard.
How would you characterize this 2024 starting offensive line compared to some of the other ones you've played on?
We're really mature. We know what's going on. With exotic looks that the defense has given us, we're not game planning our defense for practice, but we're really mature. We've seen it on the field and game day with various teams, and we can pick it up on the run, and we communicate well, and if we have a bad play, we're able to flush it and move on to the next one. But we're aggressive, we're physical, and we're very mature.
What have you seen as far as Max goes, as far as kind of understanding the scheme and kind of a depth of kind of knowledge?
Yeah, he has an amazing depth of knowledge there. We'll make the calls in protection specifically, and then if he sees something that we can't see down in our stances, he can completely flip the protection for us. He understands it just as well as we do, so that's been huge.
Compared to tackle, what do you like most about playing guard?
It's a little bit more physical. You're inside with some of the bigger bodies, so that's really fun. You're more influential in the run game, I'd say, and that's my strength right now. So I think it's been fun to see that on the field and be able to help the offense even more there.
Which defensive tackles have
Yeah, I mean, Devin Eastern, he's a dog inside. Anthony Smith, if he's ever inside, mostly in the pass game, he'll slide inside. It's like a 3 technique. And then Jalen Logan Redding, too. Those guys are fun to go against every single day, and it's iron sharpening iron.
I know things move around a lot in fall camp, but what have you seen as far as the defense goes when it comes to how multiple they are, how many guys in different spots?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of depth, you know, with veterans out there, 5th, 6th-year guys who have played a lot of football, and then young guys who are coming along quick. You know, they're going to have a good front 7 no matter who's out there, no matter who's rotating. So I'm really happy to see that.
PJ's talked a lot about versatility of the defense, being able to do a lot of different things. How valuable is that for the O-line to see a lot of different looks in camp as you enter the season?
Oh, it's huge. You know, if we were one-dimensional on defense, we would only know one thing on the offensive line going into the season. But going into the season, we've seen 4 down, we've seen 3 down, we've seen overload, we've seen so many different fronts with the D-line and the secondary to be able to give ourselves experience there. And I think it's helped us a lot. And like I said, with the maturity of the offensive line up front, we're able to see that and be ready for the season when different teams give us those looks.
Quinn, what do you know about the challenge of the North Carolina defensive line?
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, they've got a great front 7 like they did last year. I remember that game vividly, but I'm excited to have them here, and I think it'll be a great way to open the season.
Was that one of the better units maybe you faced all year?
Last year, for sure. Yeah, they're a great front 7, and I'm not sure who they graduated or who they got coming back, but they're good year in and year out. So we're going to have a good competition there.
Obviously, Greg Johnson sees things at center.
Say it again. Sorry.
He sees the position. He's taking a hold of that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of growth this fall camp. In the spring, it was, you know, he was just learning the position, you know, what to do on every play. IDs come with, you know, experience, and throughout spring, throughout the beginning of camp, he was able to gain that experience, even in the summer somewhat as well. So right now I feel really confident in him, and he's confident in himself to be able to make the calls. And like I said, you've got veteran left tackle, veteran left guard, veteran right guard, even a possible veteran right tackle. So we all trust him to make the call no matter what. If it's something that Max sees differently or we see differently, we can communicate. But he's been phenomenal.
Does it feel like dog days of camp, or is you get the sense that everyone's pretty fresh?
Honestly, it's weird because it's my last one. So, like, no such thing as dog days when you're soaking it all in, right? Trying to enjoy college as much as I can.
Has your dad given you some advice about savoring that last year?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm talking to him on the daily with as much time that I have. But, you know, he loved his senior year with the Gophers. He loved all 4 years with the Gophers. So it's kind of crazy that it's coming to an end here. But we've got a whole season ahead of us, and myself and my family, we couldn't be more excited for it.
What's he say about his advice for camp?
For camp, you know, I mean, we check in every day, but, you know, his advice is just to take one day at a time, not get too caught up in, how many days left do we have, but one day at a time and continue to get 1% better each day.
All right. Thank you, Quinn.
Thanks, guys. Talking to you.